not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection.
Come on.
And others had trials of cruel mocking and scourging.
Just like our Messiah. Huh?
Yeah. Moreover, of bonds and imprisonment.
Brothers was locked up for not for jacking the city and selling drugs. But it's locked up. Paul an example, Christ an example.
That's right.
Huh? Tortured. Jeremiah locked up by his people. He was spending so much power, they locked him up.
John the Baptist.
Come on, brother. John the Baptist, another one. Come on, brother.
They were stoned.
They were what?
They were
Paul
stoned.
got stoned.
That's right.
Lord told him get on up. They split his head to the white meat. Split his head to the white meat, drug him out the city and stoned him.
That's right.
Lord said, I ain't done with you, get on up, keep spitting. Then he sent him right back to the spot. He got stoned. Right back to the same spot. Don't spit some more. What are you talking about? We talking about some faith here. I got the faith.
Serious,
Okay? Because it will be tried. Your faith will be tried. All right, come on, brother.
Think about the faith of the people who stole them, that they left them for dead.
Yeah.
So when they sit here back, think about what they thought.
Yeah.
Right. Come on, Israel.
They were stoned. They were sawed
That was
asunder.
Isaiah. Hey, come on.
Were tempted.
Come on.
Were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins,
Like John the Baptist. Come on.
being destitute
Come on.
and afflicted,
Come on.
tormented,
Torment.
Who let that happen?
Come on.
of whom the world was not worthy.
Ooh, so the world wasn't even worthy of these people. Our forefathers.
That's
They
right.
weren't worthy of them. They was tortured and tempted and stoned for doing what was right in the eyes of God. Not because you forget to pay all your warrants and police pull you over and then you figure you're going to go out shooting, talking about being persecuted for the Lord. No, for this. For this. All right, come on, bro. And we living in a time of persecution of the saints.
That's right.
If I start, if you believe in the return of Christ according to FEMA, you already a terrorist.
Yeah, right.
Because they understand something you don't understand. He's bringing the kingdom. Okay, I understand that. Well, that means this one what? This one got to go in. So that's an imminent threat to their establishment. They know that. The King of Kings is on his way. We're not voting. He's not pumping democracy. So naturally that scares the powers that be. So if you pumping that and you pushing this to them, you down with that. You a terrorist. So we look at that time is coming back around. All right, come on, brother.
Of whom the world was not worthy. They wandereth in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth. And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise. God having provided some better thing for us, that they without us should not be made perfect.
Okay, let's go to the book of Mark. Got a couple more, we out of here, y'all. Book of Mark. And these gospels about Christ doing his healing. Keep telling you, your faith.
Book of Mark.
Chapter 4, 33 through 41. Remember, bigger the faith, the bigger the miracles. Check this guy background, man. He always showed up for his people. Always. He ain't never fumbled. Never dropped the ball. Matthew chapter 4, let's read 33 on down, bro.
Mark chapter 4.
Mark chapter 4, 33 on down.
Mark chapter 4, verse 33. Have a look at everybody there. Here we go. And with many such parables spake he the word unto them, as they were able to hear it.
As they were what?
Able to hear
As
it.
they were able to hear it. Everybody came to hear or receive this message.
Right.
Are we going out trying to pound everybody over the head? You're going to get this, you're going to get this. You ain't going to hear it unless the Lord draw you.
That's right.
That's it. It's a spiritual thing. Right. You know, it can be so clear to you, but to everybody else, they be like, what are you looking at? You crazy. Boy, you think that somebody's going to come back out the sky and that somebody got out the grave and ascended on high? See, to the outside world, you sound ridiculous.
Yeah.
You crazy. You crazy. You're delusional. You're delusional, Jack. Come on, brother.
But without a parable spake he not unto them. And when they were alone, he expounded all things to his disciples.
Go down the scriptures to him. Come on.
And the same day when the even was come, he saith unto them, let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him even as was in the ship. And they were also with him other little ships. And there arose a great storm of wind. And the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow.
Wild storm. Besides sleep.
Knocked out.
They ain't tripping off nothing. Everybody else shook. Man, hold on, we finna die. You can get the son of the living God sitting right over, laying sleep right over it.
With you.
See how quick faith wait? Real quick, come on, brother.
And they awake him, and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish?
Come on.
And he arose, and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased. And there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful?
Read that again.
Why are ye so fearful?
What you scared of? What are you scared of? You believe that? Even if you die and this is just the beginning? What are you scared of? Be shook, knees knocking? Dang, that quick, faith wavering, man. Come on, brother.
How is it that ye have no faith?
That word again, faith. You got no faith? You finna die and you about ready to abandon the faith. That ain't gonna do you no good anyway.
That's right.
Joy.
You about to die, even if you was about to die, if you didn't straight abandon the faith, that ain't gonna do you no good anyway.
Right.
Come on, bro.
And they feared exceedingly, and said one to another, What manner of man is this,
What kind of man is this? Come on, bro.
that even the wind and the sea obey him?
Go to Mark chapter 5. Chapter over. Mark chapter 5. Mark chapter 5, 21 on down. We all got to pray to the Lord for increasing faith.
That's right.
Nobody ever acting as if, there ain't times when you get shook. Understand what it is, man. Understand the Lord got you.
That's right. The scripture
You
says
gotta
the
go.
righteous shall scarcely be saved.
Right.
So whether the sinner and ungodly stand. Mark chapter 5, verse 21.
Yes, sir.
And when Jesus was passed over again by ship unto the other side, much people gathered unto him. And he was nigh unto the sea. And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet.
This was an Israelite. Why do we know that? He was the ruler of a synagogue. All right? Fell at his feet. Come on.
And besought him greatly, saying, My little daughter lieth at the point of death. I pray thee, come and lay thy hands on her, that she may be healed, and she shall live. And Jesus went with him, and much people followed him and thronged him.
A lot of people. A lot of people was around. They wanted to see what was going to happen. Massive. Come on.
And a certain woman, which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse.
Lived 12 years straight. Bleeding. All the doctors, nobody got a response. Treat all the money, no treatments, none of that. Remember, this is the Son of the living God right here, though.
That's right.
All right, come on, brother.
When she had heard of Jesus, came in the press behind, and touched his garment.
Come on.
For she said, If I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole.
So this is faith right here. Because when a woman is bleeding, she's unclean. Or they lost such a man. Right? She's unclean. But her faith is overriding all that because she's like, look, if that's the Son of God, he the only one that got a remedy for me.
That's right.
If I can just touch his clothes, I'm good. That took her to believe, because she could have been stoned after that.
That's right.
They could have killed her for that. But she like, look, I need to be healed.
That's right.
That's
So
right.
what does it do? Come on, it's faith. She had to believe that.
And y'all,
Like, hey, if I don't get healed, it's off of my head anyway.
that's right.
But you peep this though. If y'all remember in the movie Seventh Sign, when her name just escaped me, when she went to the so-called rabbi's house to ask him a question that she was having, she reached out and touched him. His wife immediately pushed her out the door, and he turned and walked. And he was going to listen to her, but she didn't know. And she just touched him on his hand, and that was a major violation. Because you don't touch a rabbi so-called today.
You read Leviticus, y'all read Leviticus 15 about being unclean.
That's right.
There's laws on it, you know what I'm saying? When the woman's on her monthly, that time of the month, she considered unclean.
That's
she
right.
was bleeding for 12 years. Bleeding, constantly bleeding.
It's a term called osmosis something. Osmosis is where a woman is 21 days on and 7 off, but this case she was on every day.
12 years.
For 12 years, and she went to the physician. This telling you that at this point, money didn't do her no good. The doctors has told her, we done gave you all the treatment we can give you. We don't have the cure. See, all physicians give treatments, 12-step programs. But what the Messiah gives you is a cure in the same hour.
Yes, sir.
Not a program for you to walk down.
Hey, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Where do it say the righteous shall scarcely be saved?
Hebrews 11, I believe.
Yeah, the book of Peter too. You got something, brother?
Yeah, she was acting on the faith of his mercy also, because she had already, because she apparently had already been hearing that he had been healing lepers.
That's right.
Lepers also, and
Right.
you know, it was not a good thing, and it was an uncommon practice for anybody for any clean person to touch a leper. They had to be kept outside the city. So I know she knew if he can heal them, then I know he can heal
Yeah, his
them.
fame and then spread. His fame is spread everywhere.
That's right.
That's who? That's him? Oh, yeah. Let me get on there. That's that faith.
That's right.
Come on, let's get
Verse 29. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague.
Knew immediately. Cured. All right, come on, bro.
And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that the virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press and said, who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude thronging thee,
Gang of people around her.
Grab it on you.
pushing on, in the crowd that's thronging.
Come on.
And sayest thou, who touched me? And he looked round about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, daughter, thy faith has made thee whole.
Faith. Because you believed I could do it, it went hard to get it done.
That's right.
Faith made you up. Your belief, you were fully persuaded that I'm the real physician. I can get it done.
That's right.
All right? She did that. That's faith right there. All right, come on, bro.
Go in peace and be whole of thy plague. While he yet spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house certain which said, thy daughter is dead. Why troublest thou the master any further?
He on his way to go heal the ruler of the synagogue daughter, right? Or that look, your daughter dead, you might as well go ahead and leave the Christ alone. It's the use of it. She's already gone. Come on, brother.
As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he saith unto the ruler of the synagogue, be not afraid, only believe.
Only believe. Only have faith. Only have faith. Believe. Come on, right?
And he suffered no man to follow him, save Peter, and James, and John, the brother of James. And he cometh to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and seeth the tumult, and them that wept and wailed greatly. And when he was come in, he saith unto them, why maketh ye this ado and weep? The damsel is not dead, but asleep. and they laughed him to scorn.
Hey, John on the side. That's crazy. She dead. They gonna laugh him to scorn.
Ain't no hopes.
Come on, brother.
But when he had put them all out,
Put them what?
all out,
Y'all gotta go. Leave. Put them out. Y'all gonna laugh him to scorn, but he put y'all out.
step, he taketh the father and the mother of the damsel, and them that were with him, and entered in where the damsel was lying. And he took the damsel by the hand and said unto her, Talitha, come in, which is being interpreted, damsel, I say unto thee, arise. And straightway the damsel rose.
Immediately she got up.
And walked, for she was of the age of 12 years. And they were astonished with a great astonishment. And he charged them straitly that no man should know it, and commanded that something should be given her to eat.
See that? All right, a couple more, y'all. Romans chapter 3. Let's go on to Paul's letters about faith. So I'm going to tell you where else he right here. You ain't got to keep the commandments, just believe.
And y'all understand that Most High ain't saying don't go to the doctor because they offer treatment. The bottom line, what they're offering is you a way to get yourself back in line, because usually they give you a diet and they give you just medicine enough to get it straight. But if you trust that the medicine is the doctor, then you're going to have some problems. Because the doctor will tell you, this is out of our hands. We don't have a cure for it. That's telling you your faith got to be whole at this point. Either you go into the grave, or your faith will make you whole. But whichever way it goes, you got to believe until the end. And you just have to accept, this the way I'm getting out of here. I'm leaving by this because I can't be healed. And we have to accept that within ourselves.
Question.
Go ahead, brother.
Just a little sideline, but at this point, Christ was already well known to be Christ.
Right.
Right? So why numerous times did he keep charging people not to tell what he was doing?
Because he didn't want it to be to the point. He just wanted them to see the miracle. Because if they tell them Christ did it, everybody would be coming just because they heard Christ heal. But he wanted it to be known by faith. See, the man said, my daughter is dead. So that's why he got the mama and the dad. And the same with the blind man. They like, ask him. He bold enough to tell you who did it. Jesus charged him. Don't tell nobody what I've done to you, but just go show yourself. See?
Do what the law said. He told him, do what Moses
Do what Moses said. So we have to be clear that the Most High didn't want people just doing it because we'll just chase him to see what we can get. A lot of people come to this doctrine because they heard of the spiritual riches and what you get out of it, so they go to church chasing that prosperity dream. Because they said if we can get it, we can get all this abundance. And not understanding, he didn't want you to think because you're coming, I'm going to heal your transgression. You have to be a believer. You have to stop what caused that illness. Something causes illness. If you don't understand that first, just like the thief on the cross, he wanted to be healed, but his mind wasn't quitting stealing. I just don't want to die today. There's some big stealing coming to town that I want to be in on.
It become like a traveling sideshow as well.
That's right.
You got charlatans out here who say they healing people, and they go from town to town to town.
False.
If you hear that he
False
coming
healers.
and you got a bad ankle, you gonna show up thinking you gonna get healed, but you're not the one that's getting healed that night. It's the people he got planted in the audience. But you come and spend your money.
That's right.
He wasn't boasting. He wasn't boasting either.
Right.
That's what it was.
He didn't want you to believe, because they say Christ is here, and then you come running. He wants you to believe because who was written in the scripture. He's proven that I am the one. I am the one, because it said he will come and he will make you whole at that hour. And Nicodemus said, you came from around here. I done seen that charlatan work. I done seen that Pharisee work, that rabbi work. They ain't talking about nothing. You can't be from around here. You got to be from God. You wasn't what I've been reading about, but he was sneaking around at night because he was still worried about his Pharisee buddy saying, you know that. But Christ said, you right. But you can't enter the kingdom unless you're born again. You got to shake Phariseeism and get down with the gospel of Christ, which at that time he understood that. And he understood it when he was sneaking, but he was just worried about the Sanhedrin because they plotted to kill Christ. He'd have been looking like a traitor. Sneaking in the night and he's a ruler. Christ checked him. Oh, you a ruler and you sneaking around here at night? What you want to know?
You don't understand these things?
Exactly.
So he said also, bro, you see him staying home, he's gonna boast.
That's right.
And once we read his next one, Romans 3, boasting is out the door.
Y'all, we ain't got but a couple more. Y'all, we out of here.
There ain't no reason for you to be boasting and bragging. She knows the Lord will walk around, hey y'all, I'm me.
That's right.
I'm the one doing this.
Say that again,
Real
man.
humble, man. He wasn't boasting
Say that
about
again,
nothing.
man.
He wasn't boasting about none of his works. Feel me? Because it wasn't about vain glory.
That's right.
All praise to the Most High. So he's healing certain people who like, look, don't tell nobody. Just do what the law commands you to do. You feel me? And give praise to God.
That's right.
Like you're supposed to do, right? You ain't supposed to be like, yeah, that was me, dog.
Right.
I taught all the niggas down. That's me. That's a boast.
Right.
That's showing you ain't got no faith anyway.
That's what he said. Boasting on the word.
You don't do it out in front of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Go and show somebody some love, talk about your business. That's gonna cover a multitude of sins in that day.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't supposed to if you take the whole Messiah's whole walk out look or whatever and apply it to your life, you can take every little part and any part that you can actually grab hold to and do, it's gonna benefit you. It's gonna benefit
Boast on God's righteousness like you the one invented.
Exactly.
Moses boasted and was not allowed into the earthly kingdom because he said, shall we give you water? Right. He's boasting because he split the Red Sea under the power of the Most High, and then he fixed his lips and twisted them to say we. And he already prophesied about faith coming, which is Christ. Now he done equaled himself up there. The Messiah said, what's this French? What's this meat stuff?
It's this It's French.
Oh, you playing games, huh, now, Mr. Moses? Didn't I get you on the way to go to Pharaoh? I was going to kill you then about not circumcising your son, and Zipporah had to do it for you. You back up to this again?
Yeah.
So since you, Mr. Hardhead, get up into that mountain and die, you ain't going to see this. So y'all, we have to clearly understand you cannot boast like those miracles are yours.
Right.
Like you the one, because you're going to be looked at by God. That's why the Most High sent him up to that mountain to die, so that no man know where that, because they will find Moses' body.
And worshiping. Yep. Same thing happened with Peter, didn't it?
Let me say real quick, that be the problem.
Like Mars and Apollos and
themselves with whatever benefit that you can get out of it. It's like juicing an orange to get the pure juice out of it, but you gonna get the benefit of it. You know what I'm saying? That's like that poor big pimp. Like some folks like take the word like, yeah, y'all are rapping the truth, and just get it out there. You know what I'm saying? Just to boast themselves out, because that is the truth. And they can't remember that we get that is the truth, but they still using it to juice it out.
Yeah, it's called, the Bible calls it vain glory.
Vain glory.
It wasn't about Christ giving glory to himself. The Father already glorified
all
me.
glory to the Holy
Yeah,
Father.
all praises to my Father.
That's right.
They asked him how to pray, what he say? Our
Father.
He included himself in that.
That's right.
Our Father. It was like that. So he was real humble, man.
That's right.
Full of faith, real humble, and boasting is out the door. We don't brag about no work that we put in. Ain't no bragging going on. You know what I'm saying?
Dog, I've been rich.
I've been putting out that work, ain't waiting for them cats. Man, waiting for it.
You ain't read Revelation 7 yet.
Come on, bro, let's get this.
Romans chapter 3, verse 19.
And so far what we've read, does faith exclude you from keeping the commandments?
No, sir.
Okay, now check this out. We about to read Paul's letters right here, right? And so for you to gain somebody that's in the deception house tomorrow, you want to be able to break this down. Because if they read it just real quick and close it, you walk away scratching like, dang, that did say that. Let's get to it.
All right.
See, we deal with the whole Bible. Let's get it.
Now we know that what things soever the law saith, it says to them who are under the law.
Y'all write down Romans 7:1. The law have dominion over a man's multitude. But whatever the law saith, it saith unto them who are under the law, come on,
that every mouth may be stopped.
some mouths.
Every mouth.
Notice I said every mouth. Every mouth. That includes every mouth in her and in the word. Every mouth may be stopped. Come on.
All
all
the world may become guilty before God.
no, some of the world.
All the world. Let me read all this all over.
Come on.
Now we know that what things soever the law saith, it saith to them who are under the law, that every mouth may be stopped, and all the world may become guilty before God.
All the world may become guilty before God. We are all in violation some way, shape, form, or fashion.
That's right.
Breaking the Most High commandments. No need for you to act like you're the goofy guru, break Zohan, or God's gift to mankind.
Right.
All right? Verse 20.
Therefore, by the deeds of the law there shall no flesh be justified in his sight.
Deeds of the law. What does that mean right there?
No,
We know you know, man. You know. The deeds of the law. You need to know this life. We know. So when it says by the deeds of the law shall no flesh be justified, the key word, it ain't just deeds, it's justified.
That's right.
Justification. What is justification? Huh? Justification. Accounting the guilty. And it said all the world become guilty. Accounting the guilty just before God. Question is, what was put in place as justification before Christ became the atoning sacrifice?
The Levitical law.
No, it's a sacrifice.
Levitical law.
I can't hear you, Nick. What you say, Bob? That sacrificial system, the law of the priests. Read it.
The order of Aaron, basically. The order of Aaron.
Let's read verse 20 again. Read it slow, brother.
Therefore, by the deeds of the law there shall no flesh be justified in his sight, for by the law is the knowledge of sin.
You got a prayer for those dollars saying you ain't got to keep the commandments, not even the big ten. Because he'll one line on the ditch.
Yes.
Now, where can I go in the Bible to show justification by the deeds of the law before Christ became the atoning sacrifice?
None.
No.
You had to atone for the sin. You had to atone for the sin.
Hey, let's flip all that. Let's flip Leviticus 16.
16.
Go to 16. Let me read 10 through 19 real quick. Y'all write these down because you want to be able to explain to somebody running around here claiming you ain't got to keep the commandments. And that's what we read today. Faith without works is dead. So is this a double? Is he a double talking agent that's against the commandments of the Most High? Or we not understanding?
Leviticus chapter 16.
Let's read. Let's read about how we were justified under the order of Aaron before Christ became the atoning sacrifice. And you would have to have faith in his sacrifice not to be doing this system again. Remember, justification means accounting the guilty just or justified before God.
The law that was added.
How?
Leviticus chapter 16, verse 10.
10 to 19, bro.
Let me look. Here we go.
Yeah.
But the goat on which the lot failed to be the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord to make an atonement with him. To make an atonement with him.
What does atonement mean? Huh?
Basically, a repentance, basically, you know what I'm saying?
To make up for.
Reconciliation of the guilty. Remember that word again. Reconciliation of the guilty by divine sacrifice. Okay, read that, bro.
And to let him go for a scapegoat into the wilderness. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering.
Remember Aaron. We always talk about now the order of Aaron. Order of Melchizedek. Here go Aaron working his mouth, or jacking his mouth right here.
That's right.
Doing what he was supposed to be doing in the temple of God. So you will be justified. Killing animals and all that type of stuff. Spilling animal blood and all that. Alright, these are the deeds of the law, shall no flesh be justified by. And don't let somebody read that and say, see, you can keep Sabbath, be poor, I can be an adulterer, a murderer, do whatever I want, idolater. That's why you gotta let the Bible bring itself down.
That's right.
These are the law by which you were justified until Christ became the atoning sacrifice.
That's right.
Come on, brother.
Which is for himself, and he should make an atonement for himself.
See, Aaron even had to atone for himself. Because he was a sinner. Come on, brother.
And for his house, and shall kill the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself. And he shall take a censer full